LL.CoolJ, born James Todd Smith, has become a legendary figure in hip-hop. However, his road to success wasn't without serious obstacles. His childhood was marked by a painful past and major trauma, including the time that his father James decided to try to take the life of not only LL's mom, Andrea, but also his grandfather's. It's a wild story, and LL and his mother broke it all down in terms of what they went through and why they ultimately forgave LL's pops. But before we get into all the deets, remember to tap that like button, hit subscribe, and push that notification bell. Now back to LL and his family's trauma. In an interview with VH1's Behind the Music, LL.CoolJ and his mom revealed that his early years were filled with crazy tension because his parents, Andrea and James, had a very toxic relationship. Andrea, a nurse, and James, a musician, both worked hard, but their marriage was riddled with aggression. LL recalled the tough environment he came up in.
My father was tough. You know, he was just an aggressive guy. It just wasn't a healthy situation for either one of them.
Andrea shared her memories of the relationship's breakdown as well, noting how destructive things became. Eventually, it got to the point where she had no choice but to leave James for the sake of her safety and that of her son. When LL was just 4 years old, his mother, Andrea, finally left his father. Seeking a new start, Andrea found love again. But that didn't mean LL's troubles were over. In fact, the new relationship ignited a dangerous rage in his father, James. Things took a drastic turn when James's rage reached a boiling point. Enraged over Andrea's new relationship, James showed up at LL's grandpa's house with a shotgun. The incident was horrifying for both LL and his mother.
I was going into my mother's home, and he just shot me with a shotgun. I felt it, and I kind of fell. My father looked out the door, and the shotgun went off again. Todd was there. He saw all the chaos and the carnage and the blood and everything.
LL, at just 4 years old, witnessed this hostile act firsthand.
My memories are that, just waking up, hearing moaning, and just walking into the kitchen and just seeing my mother laying in a pool of blood. And my grandfather sitting over there and him bleeding.
James had shot Andrea in the back and his father-in-law in the stomach, leaving both of them severely wounded. Andrea and her father were rushed to the hospital, where she spent an extended period recovering from her injuries.
My mother rushed both of us to the hospital. I don't really remember anything after that, but I know that I spent quite a long time in the hospital.
Meanwhile, L's dad, James, fled to California, evading arrest. Although a police report was filed, there was no follow-up, and James was never prosecuted for the crime. Andrea chose not to pursue further legal action, deciding to prioritize healing for herself and her son. Interestingly, they all forgave James, and here's why. Despite the trauma, Andrea's deep religious beliefs led her to forgive James for doing the unthinkable to her and her dad. She believed that holding on to anger would only cripple her son, LL, and herself. LL, influenced by the strong women around him, followed his family's lead. He learned the power of forgiveness and humility, which became a significant part of his personal growth.
I forgave his father because I needed to give myself spiritual freedom.
Being raised by strong women, there's a certain amount of humility, growing up in the Catholic Church. That's just the kind of family I have. Let's not deal with that. Let's work on healing. And that's what they did. They totally forgave him.
And here's another shocker. Over time, LL mended fences with his pops, despite the horrific events of the past. Remarkably, James went on to play a pivotal role in LL's music career, helping him get his start in the industry. However, their reconciliation wasn't without its bumps. LL eventually had to fire his father after discovering mismanagement of his funds. Despite this, LL's decision to forgive his father stayed intact, reflecting the depth of his emotional strength. LL.CoolJ's story is one of unimaginable pain, but also of profound healing. The resilience he showed as a child, enduring the abuse, witnessing the violence, and still choosing forgiveness, speaks to the strength of his spirit. It's a reminder that while trauma may shape us, it doesn't have to define us. LL's ability to forgive and focus on his growth is a testament to the power of family, faith, and perseverance. What do you think about LL.CoolJ's story? Drop a comment below, hit that like button, share the story, and tap the notification bell to stay up on all this old school scoop. Thanks for rocking with us, fam. I love old school music. Old school news with a new point of view.